The year 2025 started like any other, with hopes for peace and stability. But in April, a dark shadow fell over the valleys of Jammu and Kashmir. On April 22nd, a horrific event took place in a meadow near Pahalgam. Baisaran Valley is a serene place surrounded by dense pine forests. Tourists often come here on horseback, by foot. In this peaceful setting, tragedy struck, changing relations between two neighboring countries for the rest of the year. 5 militants entered the meadow, armed and determined. They did not come to admire the view. Their purpose was to spread terror. They targeted unsuspecting tourists enjoying their holiday. Officials say the attackers opened fire indiscriminately. 26 civilians were killed. The Indian government, led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, faced intense pressure to respond. In the weeks following the tragic Pahalgam attack, the atmosphere was thick with anticipation. India was mourning, but it was also preparing. On May 7, 2025, the Indian government made a significant announcement. It had launched a series of military strikes across the border. The mission was codenamed Operation Sindoor. Operation Sindoor was a direct response to the killing of 26 civilians. India said the strikes targeted militant-linked sites, not civilians. India framed the attacks as precision strikes. The scale was substantial. India used missiles. India used airstrikes to hit 9 locations. Targets were in Azad Kashmir. Targets were in Punjab province. India said the strikes aimed to dismantle militant infrastructure. Pakistan reported at least 8 killed and over 35 wounded. A mosque compound was hit, 5 killed, including a 3-year-old girl. Conflicting reports highlighted deep mistrust between New Delhi and Islamabad. The situation had escalated to levels not seen since 2019. Pakistan did not wait long to answer India's Operation Sindoor. 3 days later, on May 10, 2025, the Pakistani military launched its own retaliatory mission. This operation was given 2 names: Marka-e-Haq, which translates to Battle for Justice, and the official code name Operation Bunyan-Marsus. The government of Pakistan, led by Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, announced the operation. Its forces were targeting several Indian military bases. This was a direct military-to-military response, designed to show that Pakistan was capable of defending itself and hitting back with equal force. The conflict was no longer a one-sided affair, it had become a dangerous exchange of fire. A significant and historic element of this 2025 crisis was the technology used. For the first time in the long history of their conflicts, both India and Pakistan deployed military drones in combat against each other. This marked the beginning of a new chapter in South Asian warfare. Drones were used for surveillance, to identify targets, and to carry out strikes with greater precision. Pakistan reported that the Indian strikes had killed at least 26 people, pushing the region closer to a wider, more destructive war. As missiles flew, drones patrolled the skies, the world grew increasingly anxious. The prospect of a full-blown war between 2 nuclear-armed states was a nightmare scenario for global stability. Behind the scenes, diplomatic channels began working overtime to pull the 2 nations back from the brink. The United States in particular took an active role in mediating the crisis. According to American sources, the White House received alarming intelligence prompting urgent intervention. President Trump later stated that a night of tense talks, mediated by Washington, was crucial in brokering a deal. Finally, after 4 days of intense military exchanges, a breakthrough was announced. On May 10, 2025, both India and Pakistan agreed to a ceasefire. The agreement was set to take effect from 5 o'clock in the evening, Indian Standard Time. The guns would fall silent, the missile launches would stop, the drones would be recalled. As part of the agreement, both sides also committed to holding diplomatic talks on May 12 to discuss the path forward and de-escalate tensions further. For the people living in fear along the border, and for a world holding its breath, this news brought a wave of relief. But the fundamental issues dividing India and Pakistan remained unresolved, leaving the question of lasting peace unanswered.